Hello, Potato, and welcome to Weekend Magic for July the 15th, 2023. So, talk of the week. Monday did see the release of some Haunted Mansion items, and thankfully, for the most part, it was just kind of like rehash of stuff from last year. The weighted blanket was back, the throw pillow was back. We already have those things, so there's no reason to order them again. Of course, there was that really nice looking The Bride doll, not called Constance, because she does appear to be a combination of Constance and the old Beating Heart Bride. And limited edition 6,000, I did go ahead and order one, making it the second doll in our collection that is actually mine, or at least will be when it arrives. It hasn't arrived yet. Otherwise, this video would be about that, but it's not. And I thought, there was no waiting room for it. It was actually a really smooth transaction. There was no waiting room. I figured she just wasn't going to end up being that popular. It's an edition of 6,000, which is a small number in the grand scheme of Haunted Mansion collectors out there, but a pretty big number for a Disney doll. I mean, I feel like some of the more princessy ones and like Midnight Masquerade and stuff have been like sub 2,000. So I thought, 6,000, that's going to be available for a while, and it wasn't. It's gone. I was very surprised to see that they sold through them that fast, given that some dolls, I think Mulan, sat there for quite a while. And nope, The Bride, gone. I don't know exactly how long it's gone, but I know it was gone last time I looked. But we're not doing Disney this week. It's not a Disney. Oh, you know what? I realized last week in my awe of the Disney Lego Castle, I never talked about going to see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And I have to say, seeing some of the comments online, did I see a different movie? Because I found it quite enjoyable. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's hardly the worst Indiana Jones movie. It's definitely better than Crystal Skull. And I didn't hate Crystal Skull either. I think Crystal Skull's a fine film. It's just maybe a little sillier than some of the other ones. And did have like 100% too much Shia LaBeouf. But it was a fine Indiana Jones movie, all told. I would rate Dial of Destiny. It's not as good as Raiders, which is my favorite, or Last Crusade, which is, as an adult, my second favorite. But I would put it neck and neck with Temple of Doom. Potentially interchangeable. Both have some silly aspects. Both have some story aspects. I do like Phoebe Waller-Bridge as the female companion compared to Kate Capshaw. Nothing against Kate Capshaw. I think even she is on the record understanding that Willie was just an annoying and awful character. But I thought first of all, Phoebe Waller-Bridge I don't think I've seen her be bad in anything. So, there's that. But yeah, I thought she was fine. I do not see what all the hate's about. I enjoyed it. I did, before seeing this movie, watch the previous 4 films as well, since they're all on Disney Plus now. We just went through and watched them all again. And I did the same thing for Crystal Skull, and maybe that's part of why I don't have a problem with the movie, is I didn't go into it with this idealized version of Indiana Jones in my head. I went into it with the version that acknowledges all the films have some silly moments that maybe could have been done better. Or maybe things that just didn't age well. So maybe that's part of what it is. Maybe that's because I went to an Indiana Jones movie expecting an Indiana Jones movie and not high art. I don't know. I grew up in Indiana Jones. That's like one of the earliest memories I have of seeing a film is seeing Temple of Doom in the theater. So I don't know why I am not as offended by the film as a lot of people seem to be. But yes, we did see it. I enjoyed it. I will watch it again when it comes on Disney Plus. Maybe even buy it on disc. I think we have the first 4 on disc. I don't know if we have Crystal Skull on disc or not, but I know we have the first 3. But yeah, I might buy it on disc if I see it at a good price. I thought it was a perfectly fine Indiana Jones film. If I have criticisms, it's and I'm trying not to be spoilery here, but it did kind of walk back a lot of the happy ending of Crystal Skull. Crystal Skull ended in a really nice kind of happy place for Indy. And this movie walked a fair bit of that back. Oh, and I do wish we could have had like a cameo from an adult short round. That would have been nice if they could have worked him in somewhere. I was glad to see Sala back, but it would have been nice to see an adult short round make an appearance. probably would have been awkward and shoehorned in. So maybe that's a good thing they didn't do it. But that would be one of the few very minor criticisms, honestly, I have of the film. The silly bits, I mean, there are silly bits in every Indiana Jones movie. There was nothing in this one that like reached the levels to me of surviving a nuclear blast in a fridge that's literally launched like 5 miles, or even jumping out of an airplane in a raft. So yeah, the movie is in either 3rd or 4th place interchangeably for Indiana Jones movies as far as I'm concerned. And that's not a bad thing. All right, that's all the Disney talk this week. There's not a Disney item this week. This week we're gonna eschew the Disney and take ourselves a little break, a Pawfee break, a Purrista Pawfee break to be exact, because we have received our latest crate of kitty cuteness from Kimchii Kawaii. Connect with the Kawaii. She's on all the social media. She's probably even on Threads. I don't know for sure. I haven't checked, but I'm guessing there's probably a Threads there. I'm on Threads. It's Void of Intelligence, and I probably will post there just as much as I posted on Twitter, which is to say, not very much. But yeah, we have received our latest shipment of Kimchii Kawaii goodness from the Purrista Pawfee line. If you're not familiar with it, I've done videos on some of the other stuff we've kickstarted from her before. Kimchii Kawaii generally does kind of pun-based stuff. There's the Punny Buns line, there's Purrista Pawfee, some other things we have from her. I have a deviled egg, a Jingle Bell Rock. If I had pictures of them handy, I'd probably be putting them on the screen now, but I don't, so I won't. But she deals in a lot of puns, like the Punny Bun line has like the hamburger bun, the cinnamon bun, that sort of thing. Steamed bun. And the Purrista Pawfee line is, as you might guess from the name, coffee themed and cat themed. It's cat coffees. And her last Kickstarter, I think it was the last one, there may have actually been one since then that I also supported. But the last one that we have just received, like some of it came a couple weeks ago, and then one thing finally showed up this week, and that thing apparently was on quite a journey. But yeah, they're coffee themed things like espresso and cappuccino and pumpkin spice. And the newest ones that we got in, or in the coffees, we have French roast. It's got a little beret, little French flag with the Purrista Pawfee logo on it. Yep, it's a cat coffee cup. And yeah, we have quite a few of these now. We even have the original cappuccino, which was like double size to this. All the new ones are this size, but that original cappuccino was like double sized, and it's really cute. They're all really cute. And yeah, we've got stitched eyes, stitched mouth, very soft. It does take a little force to shape it the way you want it, but it'll go up on the coffee bar with all the other I'm not sure where. The coffee bar is kind of overtaken with Purrista Pawfee plush, because not only are there the cats, there have been like cakes and stuff too, like a Danish pastry and a torta shell cake, and another kind of subline called the Mewcaron. Yep, it's Mew and Macaron, and there are 2 more of those this time as well. We have the Unicorn Mewcaron. I think it's fairly self-explanatory why it's a Unicorn Mewcaron. Yep, it's a macaron with a cat. The new ones aren't, the original ones, the old ones had like a flatter bottom, so they were a little easier to display upright. The new ones are a little more rounded. The last few have been a little more rounded than the original ones, but they're still quite adorable. Got like sparkly fabric on the ears and horn, some rainbow icing there, stars, pink sparkly filling or speckly filling, got star on the tail, and of course the Purrista Pawfee logo on the tag. And there's one other plush item, but that just arrived this week, so we'll do the other item that arrived with these first. If you watched, I think was the summer video last year, the SAC Anime Summer, might have been the winter, might have been this year, might have been winter. I showed off in that one that I had bought these. So Kimchii Kawaii is celebrating a 15-year anniversary, 15 years of cute. And to celebrate that, she's been doing a series of pins for like each of the cities she regularly attends conventions in. So naturally, I picked up the Sacramento one. I think that was in January, because I think this whole year is when she's celebrating it. So I think January, Sacramento Sac Anime was the first one. It was a cute little pin of her cat logo, whose name totally escapes me right now, which is sad, because I'm pretty sure we actually have a plush of that cat too. But it's a pin of that cat with the Tower Bridge in the background. Well, for Kickstarters, she did a special pin, a special Kickstarter pin, and of course I ordered one of those as well. It's Rory. I think that's his name, Rory. Like a cat, like a tiger roars. Rory. It is Rory with a plant which probably has a name that I can't remember at this time. But it says 15 years of cute, Kimchii Kawaii, 2008 to 2023. Double pin backed, like your pins. Well, I guess my pins. I own it, and I can tag her. So maybe I'll tag her in pictures for this. But yeah, those arrived first. But there was a third item, or rather, well, the third plush, a fourth item that we had kickstarted from this collection. And that one, that apparently has quite the story to it. I'm going to go just briefly over it. It's better the way she tells it. You can find the full story at the Kimchii Kawaii Clouder on Facebook. She's probably discussed it on like Twitter, and I know on Kickstarter certainly. But there was one other, and it went on a bit of a journey to finally get here, and that is this guy right here, the Champagne Mewcaron. So apparently, the shipping company mixed up the boxes of the Champagne Mewcaron with another creator's stuff, and Kimchii Kawaii received that other person's stuff, while the other person received the Champagne Mewcaron. And rather than just like ship them to each other and just fix the problem that way, the shipper insisted on taking them back. At which point they disappeared apparently for a couple of months before finally making its way to her. I think last week's when she said that she'd finally received them, and she rushed them into the mail, and it arrived earlier this week, and here it is. The Champagne Mewcaron, of course, is a fancier, more deluxe Mewcaron. It's got an actual fluffy tail. It's got little champagne bubbles on it. And, you may notice, it's quite a bit thicker than the unicorn there. Also quite a bit thicker than all of the rest of the Mewcarons that we have. I don't know if that was intentional or if that's something just happened in manufacturing. I don't remember if this was meant to actually be like so much bigger, so much chunkier than the other Mewcarons. But it definitely does make it more unique. It's much more stuffing in it. And honestly, I mean, it's going to be probably a little harder to display because that bottom is so much more rounded. But it's still adorable. Again, it's got the champagne look. It's a fancy Mewcaron. It's a fancier Mewcaron than our normal Mewcarons because it's champagne. And now nothing wants to stand up. Yep, that's our latest Kimchii Kawaii collection, fresh from the post box to the void space and onto your screen. So yeah, I love Kimchii Kawaii's stuff. It is adorable. She's somewhat local. I think she's in like Davis or Dixon, somewhere in that way, somewhere in that general vicinity. She does a lot of other like shows around here, but she also goes like, I think she does Boston. I believe she does Fanime. She gets around, and even if she doesn't come to a town or convention or event near you, you can always order her stuff online at kimchiikawaii.com. There it is. And there's a QR code. Maybe that takes you to there, or maybe that just takes you to her link tree and you can see all of her socials there. But it is the original Kimchii Kawaii, except no imitators. And yeah, it's the latest collection, and I believe she's got another Kickstarter coming up pretty soon. So if you do find this stuff interesting or cute, that's always a great way to support a independent artist and get yourself some cute things. I've yet to have a thing of Kickstarter from her that did not arrive as advertised. So I definitely feel that she is a dependable creator. She's not like someone on Kickstarter who's going to just take your money and disappear. We've got tons of stuff from her, both in person at the conventions and 5 or 6 times now through Kickstarter. No complaints. And that's where we're going to wrap it up for this week. Some cute coffee kitties. Next week, hopefully, we'll have some Haunted Mansion stuff. But for now, I am going to end this. All the lights in here are making it hot, and we are under an excessive heat warning all weekend long. So I hope you found this at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, tell me which one of these you think is the best one in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.